So we're now heading to Callanish II. Now this is just over the way from Callanish, which you can see over there on the hilltop. There's water between it and sheep everywhere, and we're just going to go and check this out. One of the stones is over 10 feet tall, and there's 5 left and several have fallen. So look, you've got the sun and the moon on the gate, and then you've got people moving the stones, kind of made into metal. This is really smart all the way around. You can see them there, they're like moving the megalith. So this is really beautifully done. If it wasn't for JJ, we wouldn't have spotted that. And this is the gate into, not Callanish I over there on the hill, but Callanish II over on this hill, which we're just about to head to now. So we just had an amazing experience at the main Callanish site, the cruciform stone circle. We're now going to another hill very close by, about half a mile away. This is Callanish II. It's got a specific Gaelic name, which I find it difficult to say, but I'll pronounce it properly in a moment. And this is quite important. It had probably 9, maybe 10 stones. It could have had more. 5 are standing, and there's a 10-foot stone here, so quite a large one. And so even though some of the stones have fallen or buried, it's still really important. It's surrounded by kind of peat. Probably would have been slightly covered in peat like the main Callanish site. But yeah, again, this is one of the many sites here on the Isle of Lewis, linked with the Callanish complex. Some amazing bullocks next to Callanish II. And there's the giant standing stone and the 5 remaining stones. So you can check this out. Let's go and have a closer look. There's 2 here. Very close together actually, these 2. So was this an alignment? We'll check out that in a moment. Beautiful stones. The oldest type of rock on the planet, apparently. And here's one of the fallen ones just here. Very interesting. Almost looks like it's got cut marks on this one. Over there, that looks like a shaped stone, that one. That's very interesting. So this is definitely a stone circle. No doubt about that. 2 stones very close together, and then some fallen stones, and look at an anamorph, like almost like a human figure shaped stone over there in the distance, which we're going to have a look at in a moment. Absolutely stunning scenery. If we just go around this side, just over the water there up on that hill, we have the main Callanish site. Absolutely amazing. So these two big stones, which are very close together, between them is heading directly north, much like the main double avenue, like the avenue that goes north at Callanish, which is just over there. It's almost like mimicking that, like not really an avenue, but 2 stones close together. Obviously this one here is very interesting. Look at that. Let's get a closer look at that. That is very pointy, almost like very similar to some of the stones we have up in Orkney. Very thin. Look how thin that is. That's amazing. Look at the point on that. Stunning. So we're going to go over near this bullock. This could end up bad, I'm not sure, but he seems quite, these are like the classic hairy bullocks you get up on Callanish, up on the Isle of Lewis. He's having a good old scratch. He's really going for that. He really wants that scratch. He's got an itch from hell by the looks of it. So I've got this gorgeous stone here, a gorgeous beast next to it. Oh, hello. And then we've got this, which is a very unusual stone. It's almost like, this is almost like shaped. I mean, it's like, that is not natural. That is clearly a shaped stone. It's almost like a humanoid, abstract, artistic figure. Whether that has some, I mean, it's pretty much in the south. And I wonder if that has any meaning, because, you know, depending on where you're orienting that from, that is not, that's like looking over towards the Sleeping Beauty mountain range in the back, which you can't really see. It's partly covered. It's actually just over there, just to the right of the stone. That's the Sleeping Beauty in the back there. So that is very odd. Let's have a quick look around it. I mean, some people said in the early antiquarians there was actually some kind of runic or ogham carving on some of these stones. Now, apparently that was disputed because it was later realized it was just the natural nature of the stone. It kind of creates shapes and what appears to be letters. But this does look certainly anamorphic to me. We've got JJ in the background there looking awesome as usual. And yeah, it's very impressive. So it's a real delight to have a chance to come to this second stone circle, part of the Callanish complex. So in the middle here, which you can sort of see just about, I've got to be careful, it's really marshy, peaty. I've got stones all over the place. My trousers are getting soaked actually. And this was actually a cairn, much like a burial cairn like we find in the middle of the main Callanish site with, let's look into the north, and the main Callanish site looking amazing over there. And so it does suggest that this is certainly the same builders, the same system, complex really, as the previous main site. So we've got some serious beastage going on here. Beauty and the beasts, as you can see from this particular shot. An absolutely stunning view of the stone circle with Callanish in the background as well. It's right behind JJ there. Here we are at Callanish III, or on this sign, it's called something else, Cnoc Fhillibhir Bhig. So this is the Gaelic name for these sites, and they do have different names, each of them. So there's some really beautiful sites in this whole area. We've seen Callanish I, the main crucifix, megalithic site. We've seen Callanish II, and now we're going to see Callanish III. We're going to see lots more sites on our journey around the Isle of Lewis. But this is a really important one, and I really wanted to check this out. So we're now just heading up a hill to Callanish III. We've just seen the sign, we're parked up. We're going to check this out. Obviously part of the same complex. Between here and Callanish I, which you can still see over there, is Callanish II. Now these obviously, all these different Gaelic names given to them, but this is an interesting one. It's one that gets most visited really, because you can kind of see it from the side of the road. And there was even a famous pop band made a video here. So we're just approaching the Callanish III site with a very interesting Gaelic name. Many of the stones here are still standing. In its own right, this is an impressive stone circle, but because it's in the shadow of the main Callanish site, it gets overlooked by many visitors. But we're here because we're megalithomaniacs and we want to check this out. Just over in the distance there, you've got Callanish II, which we just visited. And just over there behind that tall stone, further in the distance, we have the main Callanish site. So let's take a look around this. JJ's here already. Beautiful shadows. And I really think these shadows were part of the whole design of these sites. To play, to give accurate calendar readings, amongst other things. It's like a shadow play around the year. This is absolutely beautiful up here. And all across the landscape, you're going to get different kind of meanings. God, some of these stones are just alive, it feels like. Absolutely amazing. Look at these. So these are kind of interlinked almost. I've just flown the drone from Callanish to Site 2 to Site 3 here. So you get a sense of the whole landscape that these sites were actually constructed in. It's made of that gneiss, and so it's got a very crystalline quality about some of the stones. The shapes of some of them are reminiscent of Avebury. So we have this kind of feminine mixed with the masculine. This one looks like it's broken, but it could be shaped because many of them, as we've seen already, do appear to be shaped in one way or another. And so there is stone carving going on here, not just placing them, quarrying them and placing them. There's actually a whole other thing taking place here at these sites in the Callanish complex. We have a mound over there. I think that's a natural rocky outcrop. What a beautiful place. This is just stunning. There's no one around. We're so lucky. And you know, this is like a peak time of year. A lot of people come up here for the equinox. We've seen many camper vans and people camping because they want to experience the equinox. We know it's not happening this year at Stonehenge, so people are going to different places. And it almost seems like, you know, it is aligned in some ways to the equinox, because there is an east-west alignment coming out from the main site, which you can see directly above those two stones in the distance, where the clouds are kind of forming over. And there's a real mystical thing about this, and this is almost aligned east from that, so this could be an equinox site that we're standing in right now. So it's an absolute treat to be here at Callanish III. It's the third circle we've checked out. There's more. There's Callanish IV, it goes up to like 12 or 18 or something like this. Some are obscure, some are just standing stones, some have been destroyed. But we're going to check out specific ones which we think are important. The first three definitely. There's also Callanish XI and Callanish VIII. The reason we want to look at these, one of them is the site where the lightning strike hit the ground. And they think the stone circle may have been built around that, or may have even attracted the lightning. And we know there's this whole sowers of thunder mythos related to the giants, and you know, giants are associated with these sites as well. There's legends of them, there's stories of them, they go round and round at different places. So this is just one of those places out of many that are related to these mystical qualities, these sowers of thunder attracting lightning, and also the giants. So absolutely fascinating place. We've managed to time it beautifully for the equinox with stunning weather. Hopefully this will continue as we explore the rest of the island. So this is Callanish III, and we hope you enjoyed our little visit here.